remember and hearing about any protection laws from Ghana. Maybe you can elaborate on this one. But there is no protection when it comes to minimum wages. People are being exploited. I know one example where someone I know has a business and the people work. There's no official holidays. They get off when they have to go to funerals. This is like the only days they get off.
That's
and
crazy.
During Christmas they get minimum wages, because I mean, you get what you bargain for. If you're not bargaining, then you're not getting much. So apparently there is no law that tells you when someone is working for, let's say, 10 hours, you have to give him this minimum amount. But since I have never worked in Ghana, I don't know.
See, so what about you? Have you worked in Ghana before?
Yes, I have.
What's been your experiences?
Yeah, I have worked in Ghana more than any other place. Though at a point my head office was in Nigeria, so we're working from the Nigerian office whilst we were situated in Ghana. Good. So though it was an international company, a French-oriented company, but our affiliate was in Nigeria.
Okay.
Good. So yes, in Africa, it's similar. Yes, you there are a lot of exploitations. All right. So in looking at the work setting, or when it comes to the labor laws in Ghana and Nigeria, yes, there are protections, but the protections are not maximized. Okay, due to the fact that there are a lot of demand for jobs. Okay, so rather the system of protection doesn't really work. Yes, every country has a minimum wage to pay. Okay, so like you rightly said, because there's cheap labor in Africa. Okay, so they start the bargaining power at the most minimum.
Right. Well, I did a traineeship, not a traineeship, an internship in Ghana for a month, and I went on site with my colleagues at that time, and I spoke about this Unfallversicherung, because these people were contractors on site. They were building. We have masons, carpenters here and there. Some of them were having their head mask, like a protection mask and everything, or head. I spoke about this, and most of them were surprised because they didn't know what that was. And I asked them, if something is to happen to you today, who is going to come up for the hospital bills? What if you're not being able, you can't work again? Who then takes care of the cost? Because I know for sure that if it's, we have this thing called Betriebsunfall, the company comes up for it. So I asked this question, and everyone, it was like I give them an insight that they never spoke about, or even the trade unions in Ghana haven't really put on their attention onto it. So to me, working here and having won that insight in Ghana gave me this perception, or this new gain or learning that actually we're being treated well.
You mean like you feel more appreciation for the benefits you're getting?
Exactly.
Yes.
And
so like I said, in Ghana, yes, we have trade unions who fight for the interests of their members. Okay, but starting from the laws, okay, where when I'm hosting my program, I always try to let people understand that, you see, Africa, or Ghana, narrowing it down, is not a banana republic. Okay, it also has laws and regulations, just like Germany has.
Right.
But the point is that how many people know what is in the law, what the law says?
Most people just brush it off.
Exactly. Okay, so this mason thing you're talking about, yes, before any company would engage them, okay, if not for anything, Ghana, we just have what we call the Senate, the Social Security, okay, that is supposed to cater for you in case you cannot work anymore, or when you go on retirement, there should be contributions and stuff like that. Again, any company employing you or engaging you should have that health insurance of you covered, because you are an employee there. Okay, so that in case of ill health and stuff, the company takes part of it. Those laws are there. That is what is supposed to be done. But the point is that, okay, like I said, these companies know that, okay, one, people are ignorant about it. Two, okay, the implementation of those laws are very weaker, or the controls for those laws are very weak. Three, okay, like I said, the cheap labor. If he doesn't do it for you, you can go. Another person comes and accepts it, because everybody needs the job. So it's like the company or the employer has more power and more options than you, the employee, or you, the job seeker. You understand? So since they have that power, they just they like, will I say, they maximize that power. You understand? And it is the poor employee or new entrant that actually suffers. But the laws are really there. And one other thing is that, yes, if even they flout those laws, all right, and you want to take them on, okay, you also need cash, or you need money still to take them on. Okay, and they are still richer than you and powerful than you. So where do you go?
Right.
It is not like in Germany, yes. Look, when it happens, then you just write a letter to your lawyer, then he takes it up or she takes it up, and you'll be sorted. You understand? Yeah, so mostly I would say that Africans or Ghanaians, so we those from Africa or those in Africa just need to learn the laws and regulations of their countries. They are there.
They just need to know about
it. Yes. We don't. It's just that we don't implement them, but they are there.
Is it because we don't have trust in the government, or?
No, I think there are also forces that are fighting it, because those people gaining and benefiting from the whole system, they don't want anything to change. Because I remember also difficulties. There are a lot of difficulties when you want to change the system, because the businessman who is gaining from exploiting his employers is not going to enforce like practices and laws that is going to reduce his margin. So this is something that you also see in everyday life, and it's difficult. Yeah.
So there are also incentives now that companies do set nowadays, like those in white collar companies, even or white collar jobs, even those in blue collar jobs have these incentives like gym. You have this chance of like taking on holidays during your birthdays. But do you think that these incentives can also help in less developed countries? Like, for Dr. Ma, you spoke about other countries that are not really as well developed as Germany is.
To be honest, I don't think so, because what we need most of all is cash in African countries. We need a stable base in order for us. So even if people are getting, let's say, a fitness benefit, like fitness Zuschlag, how they call it, how many people go to the gym? To be honest, how many people are going to really make use of it? So
there is no awareness for that. I think
they should better like really have a stable income where people are content with what they are getting, so that we can fight bribery and all those things, corruption that comes with not earning enough and trying to find a way to upgrade your income. And once everything is settled and stable, then we can talk about those kind of incentives.
That is Zukunftsmusik, as we say in German.
Yeah, so if I will come in here to support what Amma is rightly just said. You see, some of these incentives, yes, in Africa you get some. Okay, not in all African countries. Let me use myself as an example. When I was working with a multinational company, we had some of these packages, okay, and also that included hotel discounts and stuff that you could enjoy, okay. But you see, in Africa, we think about bread and butter first,
right?
Before anything, like she mentioned, cash, okay. If you are trying to bring this policy of that kind of incentive, gym and stuff like that, the employees will tell you that, look, let's equate the amount you'll be paying to the gym on behalf of a single employee.
Yeah.
Okay, and add it to the cash rather than it go like he or she going to the gym. But also doesn't know that, okay, going to the gym also adds up some psychological boost to your like your production onto the job. That is why they want you there, okay. But Africans will go like, nine. We want
money for hand.
And you take the money, maybe a percentage of it, you don't see it, you don't feel it, all right. And yesterday you are not productive at work. So at the end of the day, the company folds up or tells you to go home, and you still don't understand. Okay, or the company would think that they are doing so much for you, but you don't see it. Okay, but in Germany or like in Western world, okay, some of these things are there for you to relax and like get rejuvenized, to give your best to the company. That is their interest. That's the interest of the company. So even if I'm coming back to Germany here, look, with some of these contracts they sign, with these partners, okay, they enjoy discounts and contract privileges, right? So the amount they will pay, let's say for 500 people, it's not as the same subscription an individual will walk into a gym and subscribe.
Well, I enjoyed one in my previous job, so that's why I'm asking if this is, I was thinking, will it really work in Africa, for example, or in other less developed countries?
It will work depending on the sector of employment, to the level of the company. When I say level of the company, is it, like you said, is it a limited liability? Is it an international? Is it a sole proprietorship entrepreneur, or whatever it is? Like, that depends. But if they want it to work, it will work. Okay. One odd thing that I am calling for in Africa is we should adopt the Western working system of hourly, or is it, how do they call it? Yeah. The hourly system, okay? It's 8 hours, 8 hours. Every hour you are earning this, okay? That one will give us more production in Africa rather than monthly kind of thing. Somebody goes to work anytime and goes home anytime.
Okay.
And
so with your political background that you have, do you think the government needs to, in these less developed countries, do you think the government has a lot of work to do on this topic? Or is it more or less from the individuals? Well, looking at government jobs and jobs from private sectors, who has to do what to keep this, like, to keep the Go thriving of making jobs more attractive?
Yeah, Nadia, honestly speaking, governments in every country is the lord of everything, okay? If government wants to, I think that on the human interface, is a government, or if a government wants to change a woman to a man, he's the only one that has the ability to do that. So government has the political will and power to change those things, okay? It is not the individual. Every company, okay, operates under the government. It doesn't matter where the company is from. Let's assume that, okay, in Germany, we have multinationals here, okay, but they are buying by the laws and regulations set by the government of Germany. So if Germany says that, like we all know, and sometimes we complain that, why do I have my fiscal power or fiscal strength and you ask me to work 8 hours and maybe a mini job? If I can go 16 hours, why do you want to tax me more? It is my strength. In America, it is not like that, right?
Right.
You can work 24 hours. It is your strength. They don't care. Okay, that is a government policy there. And the government policy too here, depending on also the governmental ideologies each country share. Here you share more of socialists, where you want to put everybody in that bracket. Okay, but US, it is not like that. Ghana is not like that. It's an open market. You can get as rich as you want, or you can become as poor as you want, and nobody cares about you. But here, the system will not allow you to do that. So government government has the power to do everything. So on my political view, I would say that yes, the government has a lot to do. Okay, look, like I was telling you people, the laws are there. Okay, but Amma made a key statement here that these multinationals, or these owners and business owners, okay, one way or the other, they sponsor these governments or these individuals in government, okay? Right. So when they come to power, these businessmen lord over them behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the politicians are just puppets for the businessmen. They can't do anything. You understand? So that is how it is. So the businessman will continue to exploit people like that. If not that, an example, a very critical example in Ghana that I would want to share here, okay? Why should it be that, an example, this very handy I'm holding, okay, we can all pick it on wholesale price from Germany to Ghana. All right, the same price, the same cost of shipment. If, let's say, we are all sending a 40-feet container of it, all right? Then when we get it out the port, you are free to place the margin of profit you want on it, and I'm also free to do that. So you can decide to sell yours at, let's say, 100 euro. I can decide to sell mine at 200 euro in Ghana, and nobody cares about it.
Yeah.
But in Germany, you can't do that. There's price control.
Right.
Ghana doesn't have price control.
Actually, you could.
Not really.
No,
there's a margin. You can't
Yeah,
go beyond
like
it.
there's this price that you
Yeah.
get from the manufacturer. They call it die unverbindliche Preisempfehlung. This is what you
Yeah.
see. And usually every shop can decide which price they want to sell for. But they know that people go for the cheaper price. So in order to be competitive, you don't sell much higher. But you will see price ranges when you do comparison. But they don't differ more than, let's say, 50 to 100 euro, depending on where you buy and sell. Yeah, so they could if they wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So government has a lot of roles to play in making sure that employees are actually very comfortable. And in Africa, the worst case of it, or the worst scenario, is even that people who work for government are the most, excuse my words, unproductive workers. Okay.
I agree.
Yes.
And not the most qualified.
I agree.
Yes. Now, sometimes you get the qualified people, but immediately they get into the government sector, then you now wonder whether they are really qualified or they were qualified, just because the culture there is very bad. Okay, people go to work anytime and close anytime.
So strange.
Yeah,
exactly.
And they leave and when the boss is not there, they leave at any time.
Even the boss himself or herself will come to the work at 12 in the morning and leave at 2. Maybe just do 2 hours and leave. So that's why I'm subscribing that this hourly thing and clock in or log in system should be in Ghana. Okay, so that we'll get value for money. That is why our economies are not growing. Honestly, we have everything in Africa, but this is one key thing. And I don't know why governments are not paying attention to it, Nadia. Because see, if in Germany, all right, you are 30 minutes late for work, okay, it's a problem for you without prior notice. You continue it 2, 3, 4 times, you can be fired because it is stated in your contract.
Yes.
Isn't it?
I even heard cases where people were like, it's raining, I'm not coming to work.
Oh, yeah. It's usual. Oh, and then soon after, so I don't go to work. It's
like how? Is the rain going to wash you away?
No.
All right, then Dr. Alma, I'll have this last question for you. Then we wrap up this program for today. How essential is it for employees, employers, people working to take good care of themselves, health-wise, mentally, physically? How essential is it?
I mean, the question is essential for whom? For yourself, for the company you're working for, maybe for your family. But in general, are you motivated to do your best in whatever you do, meaning also at work? If this is your goal, then of course you should maintain yourself. You should maintain a physical and mental strength and health, which means you have to go to the gym, you have to rest well, because if you can't be productive at work and you're not being good in what you do, it's going to stress you. This stress is going to carry to your private life, and it's going to create a whole loop of disappointment and negative feeling, and it's going to some people go to the point where they get exhausted, they call it burnout.
Yeah, burnout. Yeah.
Yes. This is a result of too much stress affecting the whole body and your brain. So if you like what you do, you want to be good, you need to make sure that you are balanced in what you do. And it means really taking and maintaining the whole system.
Right. That can be hard sometimes, but
yeah.
Well, people in the working world know how difficult that can be. But taking Dr. Alma's last words, I would like to appeal to everyone to kindly take care of him or herself wherever you are around the globe. Work, but also do take care of your mental and physical state, because I know for sure that there is a saying that if you're not there anymore, you'll be replaced. So make sure that you also take care of yourself while you're trying to achieve something for your current job you're doing. So on this note, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a happy May Day, a happy Labour's Day. The day is almost coming to an end. And with that, I wish you all a pleasant evening and have a good night. It's your girl Nadia with the show Culture and Diversity. See you another time. Take care and bye.